Well, welcome back to our continuing coverage. 8:39 is the time.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about weather-wise. Depending on where you are, some of you may be seeing rain in your neighborhood. Others are seeing kind of a wintry mixed bag at this point. Let's bring in meteorologist Britta Merwin to kind of break down what's happening now and what we can expect going into the afternoon. Britta.
Yeah, and definitely, this round two is going to be quite an issue for our north counties. Some encouraging news if you live along the coast. Your temperatures are above freezing. I know it's cold, 38 degrees in Galveston, 34 degrees in Pearland, but you're above freezing. So we're going to keep it all rain for you guys. The farther north you get of I-10, that's where we're going to have issues with freezing rain this morning and through the afternoon. Right now, temperatures are borderline moving into Fort Bend County. So if you draw a line along I-10 and then hook down on 59, that's kind of that area where it's getting a little dicey. I'm not anticipating significant ice accumulations in Fort Bend County or in Harris County, but the farther north you get, it is going to be an issue. And that's an area where we do not recommend traveling. Dangerous ice conditions for our north counties, especially traveling up, towards College Station and Bryan. The ice accumulations there have been incredible overnight through this morning, and we're anticipating that to be an issue for our north and northeast counties as we go throughout the day. Sliding down south of the I-10 corridor. So we have a little bit of light mixing happening in Fort Bend County. Again, I'm not anticipating that being a large issue, but take extra caution over the next couple hours while our temperatures are borderline, and also while we are still getting rid of the snow and ice that has been on the roads since earlier this week. The rainfall in these areas that are going to transfer to a cold rain will help out in those areas. So if there was some shady spots where ice was still there, the rain's going to get rid of it. Currently in Brazoria County, Galveston County, we have a cold rain shower moving on through. We do have a winter storm warning until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. It does not include our coastal counties, but everyone else is in it. A lot of this is for the freezing rain that will impact our north counties today, but also there's a chance that overnight we could have one last blast of sleet or snow moving through. Half of our computer models show it, the other halves are not too confident on that. If it does occur, we are not anticipating major accumulations, but it's just another hit at a very long week of winter weather that we've been dealing with, and it's only Wednesday. Let's take you outside. This is a live look at the Southwest Freeway. Visibility is low. This is liquid rain, so no icing concern in Southwest Harris County, but definitely a very cold rain. We could have a few slick spots left over from, ice that is still washing away in the rainfall. Temperatures for most of us here in Houston will get up into the upper 30s, close to 40 degrees. Those precipitation chances very high until we get into the afternoon. And this afternoon, we are going to dry out. I'll pause the clock on our Futurecast model at 10:30 in the morning. Any sort of area that's dealing with a little bit of freezing rain in the metro area is going to transfer over to a cold rainfall, but we'll have to watch that border of Montgomery County and North Harris County very closely. Right now, most of our computer models kind of have, 105 being the major cutoff, so central portions of Montgomery County. If you're north of the 105, we're definitely looking at some larger concerns for ice accumulations. Past lunchtime, we still have some chilly rain showers in the metro area, but those start to really taper off around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then finally, around dinner time, that freezing rain up in our north counties will finally come to an end. Now let's talk about tomorrow. Heading into the overnight hours on Thursday, this is an example of one of those computer models showing some sleet or even some snow mixing in. Look at these temperatures below freezing in Tomball, 20s out towards Brenham and also Huntsville. So again, if this were to occur, we would have some frozen precip. It doesn't look like it would be south of the 59 corridor, and also accumulations would be extremely light. But it is in the forecast for some of those computer models, and that's why the Weather Service is allowing that winter storm warning to continue through 6 a.m. to account for that uncertainty in the forecast where we could see some additional wintry weather moving through. The certainty is definitely the issue with ice, and this is going to be a large issue for our north and northeast counties. Highlighted in the darker pink is where we could see maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of additional ice, and that's on top of ice that is already out there, and that's going to be some issues. Farther off towards the north and east, we're looking at higher accumulations, possibly up to 1/2 inch, and that's going to be up by Crockett and also Lufkin. That's where power outages could be a large concern. I do want to bring in Cambrell Marshall. Cambrell, you're kind of looking at the wider picture of what's going on because we're not the only ones in this.
No, no. In fact, what we're seeing is this a part of what's going on around the country, cold air. But we've got the precipitation that's interacting with that cold air right now. That's why we have the issues we have. This until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, as Britta was talking about, with this freezing rain in those areas that are dealing with some of that colder activity. Look down in Corpus Christi, 32 degrees and overcast. That's kind of interesting. They don't get that cold very often, but they were dealing with this rain you see moving out. Was there this morning. They had some fog and some freezing mist. 33 degrees and overcast in San Antonio. You see the rain moving away from them as well. You look to the far west, 36 and partly cloudy in El Paso. Now, I felt a little bad last time I said who wants to put Dallas-Fort Worth on the map, but I put it on the map this time. 22 degrees there now, light snow and fog and mist, so pretty cold temperatures around in all those areas, especially to the north. You can see that the really cold temperatures are still pushing in from the north, but nothing like what we saw earlier this week when we saw minus 45 in Prince Albert, for example. Much warmer now. It's a relative term. See down to the south in the South Park with just Brownsville, you see that rotating circular movement there. That's around an area of low pressure that's right out there with a warm front that's sliding up. And that's why we have the warmer temperatures that are along the coastal counties for us. And while we don't, that's why that's in place. Look at the big picture here. Big area of high pressure is still helping to funnel some of that colder air down through the central part of the United States, down to where we are, and that's helping to give this system the energy it needs to continue to interact with that precipitation from the Gulf, moving on off to the east. The upper level currents, about 35,000 feet up in the air, continue to go ahead and push this. You know, this is the steering wheel of storms, we call it, as it continues to push this. Here's one Futurecast model that pushes this from where it is right now, from about 7 o'clock. Look what happens here. We still have that warm air to the south causing the rain, and just to the north, you can almost see where the dividing line is. The purple is where the colder air is interacting with those southern states. The northern part of Louisiana, Mississippi, going into Alabama is going to have some of this as it moves on out, elongates, and once again, that eastern part of the United States, the Ohio River Valley, continues to get the snow in place as well. The trend is going to be, that's going to be going forward, and this is the area down in the Houston area for tomorrow where it looks like there may be a chance of some freezing precip, maybe some snow that's going to be happening as well. Computer models are not in agreement. We'll keep you updated on what we need to know about that going forward. Guys?
All right, Cambrell, thank you for